Hi everyone, another portion of Insights today, and we are focusing on entrepreneurship this week to see what are the opportunities in front of many people that are doing the career shifts, moving into entrepreneurship, and actually thinking about launching on venture or project or initiative. And I'm very happy to welcome today Bhanukiran Desiraju, professor of management with the vast experience of business knowledge, strategy, entrepreneurship, both from corporate and entrepreneurial background. Banu, I'm very happy to see you and to have you with me on this interview in this live studio.
Pleased to see you, Ina, and it's always a great pleasure to interact and exchange ideas with you. And the
Fantastic.
best.
I have so many questions to ask you today, but actually, what I think the most fascinating to start with is your own experience, how you made the shift, right? You have the years of strategic experience in the corporate background with the corporate career, strategy, marketing, innovations, digital, lot of interesting things. How did you make your own shift? Today, you are the professor of business management, entrepreneurship, value creation. How did you make this shift from corporate career to teaching in the business schools?
So, firstly, thanks to everyone. I think the simple thing is teaching is something I loved, and I was doing whilst I was having my professional career as well, but on a very small capacity. So it was my hobby thing. I loved interacting with younger students because it's always gives you great ideas. And I used to take a course once every 6 months in different institutes. As I decided to migrate, I started to see, okay, can I do this in a more broader sense? What are the expertise I can bring to it? Why do I need to do it? Am I looking for a job, or I'm looking for a career, or I'm looking for something to intellectually stimulate myself? So one of the things is I started to put in a growth mindset framework, wherein I just said I'm open to anything within the realm of education. So I think that was the first key aspect. And then it did not matter what subject, what school, what business. I said, okay, give me a topic, and I will use my experience to analyze and start from first principles and start building curriculum. And then it's a very brutal thing, because when you're teaching in public and private universities, students pay money. So if they don't like you, they leave the class. So it's not like a boss. You will say yes sir, until because he's going to sign your increment or something like that. So that brutal aspect is very important to sharpen your edge on a continuous basis. And so while doing so, I tried to, and whenever I used to went into this profession, I say, okay, if I divide all the monies of the fold, shouldn't everyone deserve to study in a Harvard or a Stanford or one of the best schools in the world? So I would also design doing like primary research all the schools of the world. Then I compare them. Then I would, before I take on a subject, I would create my own syllabus. So, for example, when I do strategic management, it's similar to what you would learn in a Harvard or in Stanford on the same subject. So when students see that kind of value, then they say, wow, it doesn't matter where I am, I'm getting trained in the best skill set. So that openness and mindset led to an easy transition. And then whenever people feel there is a challenging topic, uh, I actually get offers, whether it is strategy, data analytics, digital, and the path continues. To supplement it, then I said, okay, how do you explore new fields? So entrepreneurship and AI is a new field. So one of the things you look at is ongoing basis. I train myself every year in the key universities of the world. So, and that keeps me up to date with publications, activities, which helps me in my consulting business, where I help consult with global MNCs on their innovation process. Voila.
Okay, interesting. So there was whole structure behind that? You start teaching already some time ago while building your corporate career. You do the constant upskilling, and actually you leverage your skills and your knowledge you are gaining to build the marketing and awareness around also the business consultancy that you are running for businesses and individuals. Interesting. So I see the structure here, right? What kind of thinking process you would recommend here for those people who are watching us now, for those who are thinking, okay, here I have the idea, and here is what I see, envision the business, right? So it's not easy to get from the idea of dreaming about something and see this big picture into very structural process-driven process. What is your structure? What are the tools probably exist that early entrepreneurs or those people still in the corporate career can think about, implement to shape it better as their business framework?
I think there are two elements. One is being very open and having a growth mindset that you're likely to fail, etc. That's very important. The other thing is people have this fancy idea that entrepreneurship is very sexy and this and bells and whistle and you want to become a billionaire and all of those things, which is wrong. I think the key thing is there how can you create value for someone, be it a student, be it a business school, be it a global FMCG, be it a company that is requiring leadership trainings. So what is the value you want to create? You want to look at that value. So how do I create value? Is it a better experience? Am I saving them on time, effort, cost? Am I bringing synergies? Am I bringing new knowledge? So I think you need to understand what's the value people are seeking and what the value you can provide. That's the first thing. The second aspect is I call it as a brave framework. What is many of the good things are actually boring. Try opening the Google screen ever, and you'll see it's the most boring page in the world. But Google last quarter generated $90 billion of revenue, which means that boring page is responsible for $1 billion a day. So and many people have this notion that you want to do something brilliant, sexy, no one has done before, I'm great, what I do is great. So this notion needs to go away. Choose a boring task that you can add tremendous value. Change the journey of the customer or whom you want to provide this service, and then repeat it until you achieve. I think skills go from mastery to artistry. So you want to see, okay, in this particular skill, have I reached close to artistry? Am I repeating that skill enough times that it feels, wow, when this person does this, it feels great, right? So repeating the same thing and then acting on it. Don't try to build some fabulous, fantastic idea. Go lean. Take a core concept, a boring concept, add value to it, act on it, and check whether you're having value, and finally evaluate it. So that's why I called it the brave framework. Choose a boring task, check if it's repeatable again and again, evaluate whether you can act on it in small increments, check value given by you to yourself and to the customers, and finally evaluate, repeat. So if you go with this kind of mindset, I think there is nothing no one can, people can not build good businesses for themselves or transition to anything, but be open. And I think an underlining quality is humility. Don't go for the dollars, go for the value.
Or the impact you are creating, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And then the money is not the main one. I would like to ask you something. That's something that really made me think, and sharing with the people who are listening to us. You said that in the heads of many people, the entrepreneurship is kind of illusion or the idea which is not true in reality. And I have the same experience as you. I was in the big corporate and I exited and I became the entrepreneur. And I fully second what you are saying about the illusion of the entrepreneurship. What I was thinking about it when I was making the decision to become the entrepreneur and what I lived by becoming the entrepreneur. But the question to you is what the entrepreneurship is for you from your own experience, but also from the perspective of strategic management in its pros and cons.
So I think an important thing is to really, you can't do it alone. So any entrepreneurship, because that's why I think humility is very important. You can't do it alone. This is what many people say. You need to choose a partner. All the great businesses, rarely you will find built alone. They always had a great partner. Could be your wife, could be your husband, could be friend, someone. You need to have a couple of people motoring along. Very rarely you'll find solo riders. So I think the first journey is you need to ensure that you are with someone so you can bounce off, build complementary skills. Typically, any entrepreneurship business, I think, has there is a period which you call it as the valley of death. So every entrepreneurship goes through a period wherein the operating cost is higher than the the money you are bringing in. So you are making loss on an operating scale, not on a fixed basis. So how do you get out of the valley of death? If you're prolonging too long in the valley of death, then before your idea can germinate, you will. So knowing when to do that and being aware of that you're in that cycle is very important. So that you do. The third thing is, as you're processing this, you need to face reality on a daily basis. Every great company was built with at least 10 years in the making. So if someone say, oh, this is a great idea, great business going on, that was at least 10, 20 years in the beginning, in the making. So entrepreneurship is not a sprint or a marathon. It's like a giant marathon of marathons. So if you're prepared, it will test you emotionally, mentally, spiritually, effort-wise, money-wise, and everything. Some may be lucky; they may do earlier, shorter, but every great business is at least a decade in the making. So if someone says, okay, I want to become a great entrepreneurship in 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, my recommendation is very rarely is that going to happen. There are 8 billion people on the planet, and there are maybe less than 100 million top entrepreneurs. So it is a decade-long effort, and that if you should be willing to look at it. Until 5 years, you may not. You may hit. It will take 5 years at least for you to hit what I call as operating plus profitable break-even, and then still you will build and scale. So those are some things to look at it. Ideas everyone has. So we should not be proud of yourself saying, okay, I have a great idea. It's all in the execution and the value optimization. How are you constantly managing value for yourself and for others? And then one of the things most people forget is you always have to reassess. If you're not getting volumes or revenue or repeat customers, your idea, concept, innovation has not met product market fit. So until you hit product market fit, you can't scale. If you can't scale, then if you're a $10,000 business, you will stay $10,000 business. If you're a $100,000 business, you're going to stay. So part of entrepreneurship is the ability to pivot quite often, to agree, disagree, drop, agree, move forward, change, kill, or no, change, move forward. So you will have to go through those three decision points, optimize, kill, or stagnate. So those are the three options that come to you. So completely reassess your product market fit, review your business model until you believe that you're getting a consistent revenue or consistent set of customers. If a business is not repeatable in a boring way, in the most boring way, there is no business. If every sale is a new hunt, it's not a business. So I think these things are very, very important that people don't get caught in looking at it. The cons are it's long lead time. So how do you ensure that you have a cash flow to support your journey? You need to have not one level of finances, but you need to have at least 3, 4, 5 levels of finances. Typically, the first entrepreneurship journey will be like what we call as 3 Fs: friends, families, and fools who will fund you. Now, if you use them first, the next time when it goes wrong, you have no one. So I think before you join entrepreneurship, you must have at least 3 levels of finances built up, so that can you last the first 36 months in that journey. If you're not ready to make that kind of sacrifices monetarily, and can you then feed your family, yourself in those 36 months while you're in those entrepreneurship journey, then I would suggest no. The other thing is, don't put your own money ever, other than a small amount. You may put, I don't know, 5, 10, 20, something, that's fine. But if your power of entrepreneurship does not have someone else willing to pay for you, it's not a great idea at all. Okay. Jack Ma was presenting to Masayoshi-san, and he tried to make a business plan. Jack Ma went to several people, and when Masayoshi-san was asked, he said his plan was horrible. I would have never paid, but I loved what Jack Ma did, and that's how Alibaba was born. And he paid him $1 billion or something, and Alibaba went on to become one of the biggest. So you have to ensure that if your idea, other people aren't willing to pay for you. If you cannot get 3 people to pay for your idea, that means you're not able to convince 3 other people to invest on you, then you should not invest yourself. It is foolhardy to think that I'll be my own champion, and so you should not. Those are things you have to be very, very careful that. So we always say, have a certain base money, bootstrap. Don't be luxurious, be humble, don't spend money. But then get some key people who says, wow, I like parts of his idea, but I like that person more. So sales is a key pitch of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And we need to make sure that the sales are there, right? We are not stuck with the product or marketing, the quality credentials, etc. I can say that from my own experience, as I run 2 companies now, the go-to-market stage is something which is the most under-evaluated from the very beginning, and one of the most challenging one when you are actually scaling up on the business. Bhanu, thank you so much for the wealth of insights, the information. Guys, Bhanu is the great supporter of Bevel ON capacity building program. We run now, because of the high demand, we run this program 3 times a year. We are now in the program 7 in entrepreneurship, and Bhanu is holding his space for the strategic management, business development, and entrepreneurship as one of the professors in the program, giving again the high quality and insights of the information that we are teaching you on how to move forward. And then as of July, we are already in the program 8, and there is still time during month of June for you to apply and to join. The Bevel ON capacity building program, there is a personal capacitation, there is a career strategy module, there is upskilling and entrepreneurship, mentoring, coaching, digital upskilling, plenty of interesting things, including the community support, events, and networking. I'm very grateful, Bhanu, for you being the great supporter to the program from the very beginning and following our success, and our success is part of your success as well and your contribution. I'm grateful for other trainers as well who are supporting and joining on pro bono base, just to give the space for people to have this growth mindset, to open the eyes and to probably knock new doors that they didn't see before that could be open, right? Not all the doors are closed, and even if that door you are knocking is closed, probably there is a little window next to you that you didn't see yet, but then we help you to see that as an opportunity. Bhanu, thank you so much for this time today.
Thank you, Ina. Thanks, everyone. Cheers.